Adil Sheraz is CARE International's Pakistan director. Here's what he told me about why things got so bad in just a matter of weeks.
Pakistan is one of the countries which always have monsoon. So the monsoon season is normally between July and September. But this year, the monsoon season started earlier than the original time. It started in June. Climate change is one of the major factors which has changed the rain patterns. So the rains are heavier than the rains which usually happen within the season. So like with the heavy rains, it converted into flood and the water continued, the rain continued for many weeks and days.
And that was going to be my next question. 33 million people, 1 in 7 has felt the painful impact of this flooding disaster. Tell me right now what the greatest need is for people who've lost everything. I mean, the images are absolutely heartbreaking.
Our staff is in the affected community areas, and when I hear the stories from them, they do tell me that the villages are washed away, houses are washed away, people have lost their ready crops, livestock, their houses are gone. So at this stage, they need immediately temporary shelter so they can safely live. They have lost all the assets, including daily use kitchen items. They don't have sanitation facilities. Water is stagnant, so there are certain areas where clean drinking water is still a big challenge. So even providing clean drinking water is a major issue at the moment. Shelter, water, food, basic essential item like cooking set, sanitation, especially for the female, is a big challenge, and providing them menstrual hygiene kit is also very essential. We are looking this emergency, I think, in two different pronged strategy. One, an immediate relief, which is now, which is a life-saving support with providing this shelter and other essential item. But then when all these villages, everything is washed away, they require a lot of support in terms of early recovery.
Like people are going to need help for some time to come. So talk about access. So many of these areas are inundated, submerged, underwater. So how do you reach these hard-hit areas with all the items that you mentioned that people need?
I would say access is challenging because of two major reasons. One, there is still water in certain areas, but then second challenge is there are roads which are washed away, bridges which are washed away, which is making access a bit challenging at the moment.
How concerned are you that in terms of damage and loss of life, loss of livelihoods, this disaster could surpass the floods of 2010 in Pakistan? 2,000 people lost their lives back then.
I think in terms of death toll, we are less than 2010 flood. But at the same time, the devastation is way bigger than 2010 flood. I remember I used to work in Pakistan at the time of 2010 floods. I have seen that flood myself. It was massive, but at the same time, it was quite manageable. This time, it's probably 3 times bigger than the 2010 floods. And there is a very large population which is affected out of this natural calamity. It is going to be a very challenging program. It's going to be a very challenging response, which at this stage, more and more support is required from international community and donors. They come forward and support to Pakistan in this difficult time. Without their help, it will be an extremely challenging situation which we all will be dealing.
Well, Pakistan is a country in great need right now, and I hope it certainly gets the help it desperately needs. Adil Sheraz, thank you so much.